Hi everybody, welcome back to another SNG Experience, and this week is going to be one of those weeks where there won't be a lot to show because I got all this grinding and sanding and filling and patching, and that's on Captain Kirk, and on Battlestar there's going to be lots of little nitpicking at that. Nothing really big to cover, but we will show what's going on. We will talk about Star Trek Sirius, which many of you will remember and some of you won't. It's not a new Star Trek fan film. This is an old Star Trek fan film I started 4 years ago before Jilly got ill, and of course after she passed, the project was, even before that, put on ice, but we're bringing it back because it's all cut. As it turns out, I cut the whole thing, all the live action, and got me on the bridge, and I'm building some other sets to do some more green screen and lots of CG, bit by bit between the lines. But we'll get into all that once we get the show started. I want to thank everybody for all your support you've been lending lately. We really appreciate that too. So let's get the show going.
Well, we're finally back, and I say that because we've been working so hard on Martians Attacks, SNG, and it's now finished. Really it is. Tom Piedmont's doing a little bit of cleanup on one composite, and Tommy is finishing the score. I can't do anything more on it. I mean, Tom's stuff I'm just going to cut in, and Tommy's stuff is going to be dropped in, and it's done. I am going to do a trailer, but I have to get back to doing model work because, well, you guys are watching and you're getting bored with all my movie making stuff, and believe me, more is coming. But this project that I can't talk to you about or tell you about, or I'd have to kill you, will be officially in the wide open next week. The script is done. Yes, it is. And we're doing rewrites, and we're doing non-disclosures and all that kind of stuff. So I will tell you basic storyline. I will even tell you who's probably going to be in it, which I think you're going to like. And I will show you what Andy Probert did in the design of the spacecraft, which is beautiful. Just wonderful. And I gave him carte blanche. I gave him a basic description. I said, Andy, I don't want to influence you with my ideas because they're not yours, and I want a Probert design. And boy, did I get one. So Andy's the best. As Doug says, he's a genius, and he is. So I'm also working on Star Trek Sirius. Remember the movie that started back when, before everybody and his brother was doing Star Trek fan movies? This one was done, written by my late wife, Jillian, to feature this model. But then the guy who was going to shoot the stuff dropped out, and then Jilly got sick. But we had the whole thing shot, all my live action, me on the bridge with Rosie and all that stuff, but we were missing stuff. And I had the whole thing edited, and it just sat now almost 4 years. I am back to it. I am looking for people to help me with the effects. Hi, Chris Cunningham. Hi, Chris Martin. Subtle, aren't I? But I need some models, which I know you have, Chris Martin, and I need some effect shots done, all really neat ones where Doug Drexler's ship blows up and the saucer section comes right at the screen and stuff. And I have been working on finishing some of the sets. Now, you know, I did the Enterprise Bridge, which I was always very proud of, but I had to do the corridor so I could show myself walking at the beginning. I'll show you a little bit of that on Lightwave.
Mind you now, this is OpenGL. These are not rendered. When they're rendered, they look very photoreal, but I'm just showing you in the OpenGL. So I can show you, I've got one camera move that goes like this, which is where I'm going through. I have some corrections to make. Don't tell me about it because I know what they are. But remind you also that this could be any corridor anywhere in the Enterprise, and they were all slightly different, even though they were all the same. All they did is move this stuff around and change door colors and things like that. Now, I've got 3 cameras hooked up here because it's a very long walkthrough where I'm narrating. See, we're going to go to camera 2. We go back here. This is camera 2. This is continuing on, probably starting about here, going through from the other direction. Same way they did. Now you see there's another camera and it's going around the corner because I set up 3 cameras on this.
but the corridors are looking pretty darn neat. And then we've got this part of the bridge. And these are built exactly the way, right off the plans from Desilu. And so I will be using these pretty much the way they did, trying to make them look like more than they were. I have to build a turbo lift next, and that's probably the end of the models I have to build, although we did have a space shuttle somewhere. And I'll render you out one of these pretty quickly. We did have a space shuttle, the USS Rosie. I did have a shuttle, but I can't find it. Of course, it's been almost 4 years, but I found a lot of the models, but really I kind of want to start over. I have my model. There are some of my effect shots I did, and some that Matt Boardman did. And Matt, we are really going back to this. I've been spending a lot of time working on it. Here's the sets rendering off right now, but trust me, the lighting is not done properly yet on it. I mean, this is just, I had just finished doing the basic construction, and then I found out these beams up here, these are supposed to be closer together. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. And as fast as this machine is, boy, is it taking a while to render all this. But we'll go full size here, and you get an idea what those are going to look like. So that's really cool. We will be doing, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you a little bit of the show, a little bit of the edit. Here, I'll show you a little bit here. You can see I put yellow in saying what's missing.
Starfleet, this is the USS Dresden. We are under attack by an unknown city. Shields collapsing. We are operating on limited impulse power. Something materializing dead center of our screen. Some kind of ship. Evasive maneuver. Shields up.
And then we have this shot here, and I'm not going to bore you, but they are all through this whole thing. This is, you can see, Captain walks the hallways, which I'm working on now. Captain steps into the bridge. There's a whole shot of me coming off the bridge and looking around first.
With the exception of my
the turbo lift, somewhere in here.
For just a once around the park.
There we go.
It's quite exhilarating.
And I look inside there, and the earth out there and everything. And then all through it, we've got shots missing. Some that are actually cut in, like these down here.
Starbase.
Affirmative. The USS.
Let's see, I'll find them.
Kirk, neither do I. Computer, heading towards Earth, warp 9 now.
And I bet you didn't know that they refitted the ship to go warp 9. Now, these are some shots that I did that I may just stay with, because I don't want this to look like modern day effects completely and totally.
Computer, are we being pursued?
Affirmative. Enemy vessel is matching speed and course.
That is Jilly's voice you're hearing.
Firing. Shields at 60%.
We got some of the shaking going on and stuff here.
Captain, you don't mind most generous of offers? Off my scooter.
Somewhere here you see me being chased. See.
Rosie, somebody ought to tell these guys that tailgating can be dangerous.
Yes, and Scotty did install half computers after the refit, and this is not something everybody knows about in Star Trek.
Computer, fire torpedoes.
Affirmative. Torpedoes away.
And I'm going to stop it before, well, you can see. What the heck? And so, without any further ado, I am going to finish this. Jilly would have loved it. She wrote the script. It was kind of her idea to do this whole thing. It's her voice that's in it. The ending is very, very sweet. I need some shots there. Chris Martin, of course, did a really great job on rebuilding my Star Trek Sirius wireframe that I did, and really brought it an extra level or two up from what I had done, and we'll be using that. You'll get to see that. And so bit by bit by bit, every week I'm going to do a shot or two or something until it's done. Meanwhile, of course, we'll be starting our campaign in a couple of months to raise the money needed to do the new project. So, so there's plenty of time to work on models, get this going, and everything else. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And what I'm doing right now is working on Captain Kirk's model, the spacesuit model from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and also Voyager. So we'll go take a look at that. Okay, it may not look that different from the last time you saw it, but trust me, I've been working all day on this thing. This thing is so heavy, so heavily built, that if I dropped it on my foot, I'd be going to the hospital.
And so it was challenging to keep it on its this. But I did a whole bunch of stuff inside. I'll take the helmet off. And you can look down in there, and it's not pretty, but it is solid. And this thing is never going to come apart. I did all kinds of stuff and then put this back on. Unfortunately, I can't move the hands, the arms anymore, but that's okay. I broke this, which, you know, that's what epoxy sculpt is for. But now I can get in here, and we got a pretty good close over here. But this, you know, this is typical of this model, right, Lou? I know you're watching. So because the way it was molded off the original and it was done haphazardly, you have to do a lot of work to go back in there and fix it. But I got a pretty good fit there, so we'll be able to go in there and get that just right. And of course I had to get the wiring for the helmet to be lit up inside to come all the way through here and down here. I'm not going to light up anything else, just the helmet. And it comes all the way down here and it comes out here, and we got a lot of it. So this can be in our display room. Remember, this one's for me. You guys all got yours now. And if you didn't get one, you can. You just have to go to my website and you'll see that it is available. And this is from the original, actually used in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. It's not a remake. It is actually, oh, I'm sorry. Let's see if I can get this on one hand. There. See? This was the problem. I should have put it inside the helmet. But now what I can do is go over this entire thing tomorrow and seal it all up and smooth it out and get rid of all of its problems and sand all this stuff and put some primer on it, and we can paint it. That's the biggest hurdle is overcome. He's up there flying around and all together in one piece. Really good. Over here, I am working on Battlestar, and what I'm going to do now is glue this together. I'm still not sure why it was left in two pieces. It might have been because of the window frames that should be on this. I'm going to look into that in a minute. But anyway, these are been detached and they're not lit up right now because I have to take these wires here, which are for these guys. And you see that one little hole there? I have to force all the wires from here back down inside that hole. I didn't make it very big. But I will do that and get this to close up. Now, all the armor I'm going to do after I get all this stuff, because the armor is just sort of sitting on here. And if you're watching, Kip, I'm missing armor for down here for the nacelles, so the engine nacelles, and I'm not sure why that is, but they weren't in the kit. We double checked, triple checked, and they're just not in there. So this one's still on. This one's still lit up. Interesting. I thought I disconnected the power to it. Wow, magic. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do is we're going to get these nacelles, this one put together, and the landing bay nacelles put on. That's what I'm doing next. Now, over here, we will be getting to this later this week. And I know Chris is wondering what's going on with this. Well, you can see what's going on with it. It is really nice, and it is really perfectly shaped, and I'm really happy with it. But I need to scribe some details in where the axles come out. There's like little flares around these, and just a few other things I need to mark up. Still got to clean up that cockpit just a little bit more. It's not quite straight as I want it to be, and I know how I'm going to fix that pretty simply. And it's not bad, but it needs to be straighter, so we're going to work on that. But still, it's looking really good. Before I close this up, I need to find out whether in fact that these window grills you see down here go in from the back side or they go in from the front. I'm not clear on it, and what you have to do, you can see that they're kind of
solid. They're not see-through, not entirely. So what they recommend is that you flat sand on here until you get through the flash. Now I'm going very slow, and it looks like it's going to work. And Rosie's barking away. We'll just keep going here, slow until we see it go through. Oh yeah, it is starting to go through. Yep, there. You can just see that one hole has appeared. We're going to keep on going though. It's kind of scary, really. Oh, we got more happening. It might be that I can just poke these out now. And then again, it may not. Because I don't want to sand through so far that I lose the framework. Now you can see bit by bit, more and more of these are starting to pop out. In fact, wow, I can blow them out. They're so thin. Well, this is what you can expect from the badass models. They're very well thought out, very well made. But it is getting there. I should have an X-Acto blade here just so I can kind of pick at those a bit. But you can see that's actually working quite well. Okay, we're getting closer and closer to actually pulling this off as advertised, and I love it when things work as advertised. Obviously, they must have tried this themselves a few times before they were sure they had the right thickness to do this, but as you can see here, don't you love it when things work as advertised? It's so nice. Great job, you guys, at Badass. Now, I want to see what the deal is here. Do these fit? These fit. This fits together so good. It's astounding, actually. But it looks like these just fit right in there. I don't know if they go from the back or not. This one appears to be too wide, so there might be two different sizes. You know, the back side is wider. And there's a little bit of flash in here, too, that I might want to get rid of. I'm seeing now. I didn't see before I put these magnifiers on. And if I get the flash out of there, it will go in better. More like advertised. Now, let's see. I got a feeling this one goes here. No, it doesn't appear that these line up. Maybe I have to lose part of it here. I'm not sure. I'm going to flip around this side. Probably help if I read the instructions, but nah. And we're going to a little bit of flash there, a bit of flash there. Probably do go in from behind, so this is why I didn't close this up. They do line up to all those slots there, so that tells me this goes in from behind. So we're going to lift that off. Good job, I did not cover this, close this up. And then we're going to put these on, and we're going to paint them. Actually, they don't go in from behind. If they do, this is a little tricky. I'm not sure. Here we go this way. Yeah, this is going to take some doing. I didn't see this coming, but I think they do go on from the outside. I do. So we're going to have to play with that a bit more and see how those fit in there. Okay, as you can see, I've got the windows in. And here's this side to the museum. I got a lot of light blocking to fix, but the windows, the frames are in. They came out really nice. So I'm really pleased with that. We're really looking good here. Good stuff. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now, and this nacelle is glued together, and so now I can actually connect them and then start doing all the light blocking and putting on the armor. Hoorah! Oh boy, I've been grinding and filling and grinding and filling, and I know Lou also knows exactly what I'm talking about, because the way they molded this, as I've stated before, was they just pulled a mold off the existing prop that Doug had, and so it has all these problems that have to be fixed. And although it looks very good to the camera and to the eye right now, there's still, a great deal of preening and fixing to do. Although, keep in mind, the original prop was really rough and only had to look good enough to be on film. But still, I've been doing things like closing gaps in there I didn't like, and just stuff like that. And I had to make a new helmet because I made it at 1630. It didn't capture all the detail. And especially over here, it had some really bad areas. So this helmet's absolutely perfect. Although when I poured it up, it got really thick, so I had to grind for, it took me about an hour to grind it all out inside so the bubble would fit in again. But it did. So it's to a point now where another couple of days of work and I can paint it and finish it off. Over here, yes, I know, we're gonna get to it. Mary's working on the paint job for Captain Kirk's head, which will fit inside, which is looking really nice. She always does a great job. Battlestar is sitting for now because if you want to see a show this week, short though it is, I gotta go and start cutting it.
Well, you caught me back in the editing bay, someplace I'm spending a lot of time with, but I'm doing equal time out in the model bay, working on our models, of course, that you've seen. As soon as the Battlestar and Captain Kirk are done, then it's going to be full time on the Enterprise till that's done. But we're also going to be spending equal time here because, of course, Martian's Attack is done. You'll see that soon. There'll be a trailer soon. I know you're all wondering when. Well, we're kind of waiting on the score. So the score will be delivered shortly, and we will be able to finally release that to you. But we're also working very hard on the next project. And that project I will finally be able to talk about next week because we are getting our scripts done, it's being registered, and we're getting various documents signed so that we can then start talking about this as a prelude to our crowdfunding campaign we'll have for this. Now, I'm sure you'll all want to support this one, especially when you find out some of the notable people that are going to be involved in it and the nature of it. So we're very excited about that. So also, of course, you know, I'm working on the Star Trek movie, so it's going to be busy between these two bays. I want to thank you once again for all your support, all the great postings and stuff that you guys have been doing. We really appreciate it a great deal, and remember that we couldn't have SNG, and it couldn't be what it is today without all your help and your love that we also send right back at you. We love you. Thanks so much, guys and girls.